Many people mistakenly think that the iconic dog perched on the hood of Mack trucks is just an old, simple advertising logo. But the fascinating truth behind it is actually much deeper than you might think. The legendary name Bulldog didn't come out of Mack's branding think tank at all. It was born straight from the brutal hell of the battlefields of World War I, in places where the thick mud was knee-deep. Constant explosions and impassable routes destroyed almost every vehicle. However, a legendary American truck called the Mack AC, with its unbelievable toughness and grit, not only survived these conditions but pushed forward like a tenacious British bulldog baring its teeth. The British soldiers, known as Tommies, were so impressed by this performance that they nicknamed it the Bulldog Mack. It was not simply because of its stylish looks, but rather because of its incredible toughness and its distinctively wide, short hood that looked exactly like a bulldog. This unique nickname became so incredibly popular that in 1922, Mack officially adopted the bulldog as its corporate symbol with great pride and began putting it on every one of its trucks. You should know that Mack Trucks was founded by the visionary brothers, John and Augustus Mack, back in 1900 in Brooklyn, New York. And from the very beginning, the company focused specifically on heavy-duty trucks and engines. As a matter of fact, the Mack AC was the company's first highly successful model. With more than 4,500 units delivered to the Allies, namely Britain and the United States, during the First World War. And now for the real excitement. That iconic metal dog on the hood isn't just a historical keepsake. There is an actual technical secret behind its color. Gold, chrome, silver, black, or even copper. Each of these colors carries its own hidden message about the truck's engine, the transmission, and its true power. If you stay with me until the very end of the video, I'll explain every single detail and demonstrate exactly how these colors still tell the story of Mack's toughness. Welcome to the World Stories channel, where you will hear fascinating secrets from around the world, spanning from ancient times to today. This story takes us all the way back to World War I, the very conflict that changed the world forever. Back at that time, the British Army faced a major challenge. They had to transport equipment, ammunition, food supplies, soldiers, and even cannons and tanks through treacherous routes that were more like swamps than actual roads. That is exactly when the legendary Mack AC truck entered the scene. An American truck with a rugged look, flat at the front with no elegance at all, but with one intimidating feature. It was so tough and durable that it was almost as if it could never break down. These trucks never complained, never gave up, and never broke down halfway. They easily passed through muddy areas, steep hills. They climbed them. Heavy loads? It was as if it was nothing to them. They transported them as easily as drinking water. What was the beating heart of the Mack AC that allowed it to handle any tough condition in one go? The Mack AC, equipped with a 70-horsepower 4-cylinder engine, anti-slip chains, and a capacity of 5 to 7.5 tons, was designed for heavy-duty work, something that's commonplace on today's paved roads. But back on the battlefield, it was a miracle. That's when the British soldiers gradually started making comparisons. The truck's appearance with its distinctive flat-fronted hood, the way it handled those incredibly terrifying and muddy roads, and its unyielding toughness in the midst of that hell, all of it reminded them of one thing: the British Bulldog, their national symbol. And that's where the nickname was officially born, the Mack Bulldog. Now, let me take a moment to add a quick note about the Bulldog in parentheses. The iconic British Bulldog isn't just a cute animal. It has actually become the official national symbol of Britain because of the specific, admirable personality traits that the British people strongly associate with it. First and foremost, toughness and courage. Bulldogs are remarkably resilient and hard-working animals. They never back down and will fight to the very end. This very trait made both brave soldiers and the British people see themselves in the Bulldog. especially when they were faced with daunting challenges and severe hardships. Second, loyalty and trust. The Bulldog is very loyal and devoted to its family and group. This loyalty and commitment was a perfect symbol for the British, for whom the values of unity and national resilience were important. And third, their rugged and determined appearance. The Bulldog's square face and wrinkled forehead give off a determined vibe. In war and national propaganda, this look became the image of resistance and a symbol of Britain's strength and willpower. So it's perfectly understandable and natural that the American Mack AC truck, which nothing was impossible for and hardly anything could ever take down, had a distinctly rugged appearance. With a blunt, flat, and unrefined front body design, it just fought on like a tough warrior and kept going. British soldiers truly identified with it, and in a certain way, they saw this reliable truck as one of their very own, affectionately giving it this unique nickname. As a result, whenever a terrifying route or an impossible mission came up, this nickname was not just a name, but a symbol of reliability and strength. They used to say, as long as the Mack Bulldog is here, the job is as good as done. This truck will undoubtedly get the job done. But for many people, an important question might come up. A lot of nicknames are created during war, so why did only this one become the official symbol of the company? Well, this is exactly the point where the story takes a stranger turn. Mack realized that this nickname didn't come from advertising. It came straight from the battlefield, from a place where no marketing strategy could work. In fact, when World War I ended, this nickname just wouldn't go away. In the early 1920s, Mack started featuring the image of the Bulldog in print advertisements. This wasn't done for show or to act flashy, but to emphasize that this isn't just something we claimed. It's something that truly earned its credibility on the battlefield. Of course, even after the war ended, the Bulldog nickname kept appearing in soldiers' letters and various military reports. And some say Mack eventually took full advantage of this in their advertising to claim that it was these trucks that won the war. Finally, in 1922, the Bulldog officially became the company's symbol. But still, something was missing, a physical emblem, something visible that everyone could see. In 1932, Mack's chief engineer, Alfred Fellows Messuri, was a technical, creative, and extremely hardworking person who couldn't sit idle even after surgery while he was hospitalized. So what did he do next? He started carving a small bulldog out of a bar of soap. Yes, it's true. A bit later, he carefully perfected his original design carved from wood and successfully obtained a formal patent for it. That became the very same iconic bulldog ornament you see prominently on the Mack hood today. But the story didn't end there. 6 months later, on April 4th, 1933, Messuri was killed in a terrible accident. The U.S. Navy airship known as the USS Akron tragically crashed during a severe storm and fell into the deep ocean. Just as a brief side note, an airship, which is also commonly referred to as a Zeppelin in English, is a very large flying vehicle. It functions much like a controlled balloon that is capable of flight and carrying cargo or many passengers. But unlike modern airplanes, which rely on fixed wings and powerful engines, a massive airship is filled with a very light gas like helium or hydrogen and moves much more slowly and gently through the sky. So after Messuri was unfortunately killed in that tragic accident, the loyal Bulldog not only remained a powerful symbol of war, but also carefully kept alive the lasting memory of the person who first created this iconic symbol. Now it's time for that strange and exciting secret I promised you. Remember I said there was a technical point behind the color of the Bulldogs? Well, Bulldogs aren't just decorative. Their color actually means something. A golden Bulldog means that the entire technical system of the truck, including the engine, gearbox, and axles, are all made by Mack itself. However, seeing a chrome Bulldog means that a specific combination of parts from various companies has been used in its construction. Consequently, a professional driver can tell exactly what they are dealing with just by looking at the color of the dog. Today, Mack Trucks has officially become a key part of the global Volvo group, but it still proudly keeps the iconic Bulldog emblem on more than 200 different truck models. Even on brand new electric models like the Mack LR Electric, the distinctive black Bulldog signifies the truck's highly advanced technology and engineering excellence. In short, I think the Mack Bulldog is one of the few logos in the world that truly deserves its reputation. It is not just because it's pretty, but rather because of the incredible journey and the fascinating story behind this symbol. Of course, some people would argue that despite all these stories, the Bulldog was still a clever marketing choice, but I don't see it that way at all. Historical documents, advertisements from the 1920s, and military accounts all show that this symbol was built from the ground up, not imposed from the top down. What I am trying to say is this: it wasn't the brand designers or the marketing teams who created it. Rather, it was the British soldiers themselves who truly defined its unique identity. Now, I'd like to know your opinion. If you were in Mack's place, would you choose to keep that iconic Bulldog logo forever? Or would you change it? Share your opinion with us in the comments below. Mack's iconic Bulldog clearly shows us that a real brand isn't just created in a quiet design office. It's built out in the tough, real world. This legendary dog isn't just a simple logo. It's a powerful story, a brave warrior's nickname, and a constant reminder that some things only truly endure through years of hard work. And that's exactly why, after more than 100 long years, the Bulldog still proudly stands on the hood of every single Mack truck.